This is how Orlando Pirates beat Polokwane City. Let's start with how they played in attack. So, as you can see, Pirates here, they have a sort of a back four with the goalkeeper, the center backs, and the left back. But what they seem to do a lot of times is to just try and play the ball long. But if you look here, there's an option to play the ball to Makaola, who can play the ball to Sbi, so you can just play the ball to Sbi. But seems like they were rushing, right? And they rushed the ball. But then when it gets to this point, you ask yourself, were they actually rushing, or is this by design? Because look at the situation right now. Orlando Pirates have kicked the ball long. The opponent has intercepted the ball. But all of a sudden, there's like 7 Pirates players ready to win the ball and launch the attack again. So it's up to you guys to tell me, do you think this is on purpose, or do you think that they just have a good system of countering or like winning the second balls? You guys will tell me, because if you continue looking at the game, you will see that the other thing that would happen is, again, you have Mbogazi here. He's about to play the ball long, and he does. And in this case, Urele Mfukeng gets the ball. And in him getting the ball, he tries to pass it. But then now, these guys have won it back. And now Pirates are facing the problem that they've been facing. 2 defenders versus 2 strikers. That's a problem. And in this case, since they're not playing a back 3, you can see Marco highlighted on top of your screen. He is out of position in a way, because if they are trying to have 3 people at the back so that they can counter this thing of being attacked by 2 attackers and having to deal with the 2v2. So they are now in a situation where they're having to defend facing their goal. But then again, the ball is passed, but this time around it was an offside. So even though China had made a very, very good save. So once again, you see that this thing, it's difficult for me to believe that it's by design, that they just always want to kick the ball long. Not always, but they do kick the ball long a lot of times. So yeah, it's just one of those things. And then here again, they kick the ball long to Van Rooyen. It doesn't work. And it's not the only time as well, because after this, you also see Mbogazi tries to kick the ball long to Van Rooyen. It also doesn't work. So there were a lot of these times, and this is within the 5 minutes, and it's like the 3rd or 4th time where the ball was played long and it didn't. But now, when I say maybe this thing is by design, it's because I look at things like this. So if you look at this, Pirates are manipulating the shape of the opponent. So for starters, you have Mahopa in the 18 area, pinning those 2 defenders close to him. And you also have, look at what's happening on top of your screen. Forget Mfukeng. Look at Mbatha joined with the other with the midfielder. So look there at that space that has been created, because Mahopa is holding the defenders close to him, which means there's going to be a huge space, because the second defender cannot go and help with marking Urele, because he's going to be leaving his fellow defender 1v1 with the striker in a box, which is not a good idea. So there is that space that is left. But if you also look here, you can clearly see that on number 21, I just forgot his surname. I remember what he scored that goal against Chiefs that we'll never forget. He's not trying to help Mfukeng either, to help Marco Mfukeng as well. He's instead looking at Mbatha and thinking, if this guy gets the ball, he can shoot. So now in a way, the Polokwane defense is forced to let Mfukeng be 1v1 with the defender, and now he can get that space and he can shoot. And if you continue giving him chances like that, they are likely going to score goals, and they've been scoring goals. Here's another thing that the thing that Pirates does very well. They know the strengths of their players. So Umaswanganyi is not a 6. But when they are building out from the back, you'll see him being the one sometimes who's deeper than all of them. And then Mbatha is the one who's closer to him, ready to receive. And Makaola being a very good defensive midfielder, but not being great at playing out from the back, you see that he's the one who's further up the pitch. And in this way, Pirates can be able to progress the ball easier, because they have players who are capable of doing just that. So yeah, play to your players' strengths, and then you can have them play the ball and move around. And now you've beaten the first line of pressure, and then now you get blocked in the second one. You see the same thing again here. You have Mbatha being the one who drops to collect the ball, and Makaola being further up the pitch. And now Pirates can now start playing the ball and moving it forward. You see, in this way, I do feel like it's in a much better situation where they can play the ball. So we go back again to that thing of manipulating the opponent. But before we do that, guys, can you like the video and subscribe? The more subscribers I get, the more consistent videos I'll post here, because I do not want to post videos that will be watched by 3 people. So if you want more people to watch these videos, make sure to subscribe, and then I will make more of these videos as well. Because I did do the analysis of the Champions League games, but I didn't post them. But yeah, if you want me to post those videos as well, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Alright, so now you have this thing of manipulating the opponent again that I touched on earlier. So here you have Usbisi, by the way, who has mastered playing these diagonal balls. So the ball is played diagonally to Mfukeng, and now he is not just 1v1 with the defender, but now there is a 2v2 because Maswanganyi is also on that side. But remember earlier something I talked about. I said while Mfukeng is busy doing that, there is that Mbatha who is standing outside the box. Once again, you can clearly see the defender is thinking he cannot receive the ball on his own. So that means there's one defender who's already focused on Mbatha in case he gets the ball. And that means since Urele is also wide and the defenders are still being pinned into the box by Umahopa, that space between the between the right back and the right center back still exists. So Makaola can now find himself in that space and try to receive the ball from those spaces and do the things. And you see he takes a shot. This is the same space where Mfukeng took a shot in that first attempt. And you also see here rotations. You see that Tito is much deeper. You see Nkota is now playing like he's the second 6 or he's an 8, and is dropping there. And that space again that we're talking about, with Urele opening up wide, he is there, and now he's making the run, attacking that space, and then the defender, because he's panicking, he fails to clear. But Mfukeng seems like he wasn't anticipating that ball. So now we must look at the systems, our weakness in reverse, because Pirates, when they're playing these diagonal balls, they seem to come back really quick. So here's an example with them actually dealing with the diagonal ball. You see CBC, Van Rooyen rather, deals with the ball, and then he plays to Nkota. Now Nkota plays to Mbatha. Mbatha then plays to Mahopa. Mahopa plays to Nkota, who's now in. You see how quick they play from one end of the pitch to the other end of the pitch. This, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why Pirates have moved to a back 5 when they're playing these big games. We saw it against Sundowns, we saw it in the Champions League. It's not a back 5 of one of the left back will become part of the back 3. No. It's now 3 center backs, and then the 2 full backs are no longer full backs, but they are wing backs because they go up and down. So yeah, they avoid this by doing this, because you saw that earlier I showed you that if it's a left back tucking in, sometimes he forgets and he wants to go forward, and then he can get exposed. So here's another thing, Mbatha and shooting. I will say shooting Mbatha is getting better and better, because of course whenever he scores, it's these long range shots. But on the 36th minute, Pirates had gone back to this thing of making sure that Umako is also disciplined and he stays at the back with the back 3, because these guys were getting at them with these counters. Once again, we have this thing of Tito dropping, combining with Mbatha, and you see Umakaola is now the one who's almost like a 10, but he's not really a 10. It's just that at this phase of play, he's the one who must be in a further up position. And you see that Pirates were being countered in this situation, but they have 5 players against 3 players of Polokwane City. So that whole situation of teams countering against Pirates seem to have mastered the art, and they are now trying to make sure that no one ever catches them napping rather. And then of course Mbatha will shoot. But in this case, I'm asking myself, Mbatha, why not pass the ball to Nkota? Because he's free and he's going to be running into that ball with his left foot and he can shoot. But Mbatha decided that he was going to shoot for sure. Now the other question I have is, Mabasa, what has happened to Mabasa? Usually Mabasa gets a chance and buries it, but in this case it doesn't. It's a good question. Let's talk about the goal. So the goal starts with a very good disguise by Udlamini, pretending like he's not about to play the free kick. But he then goes and attacks the free kick. Now, 2 very good things here with this thing. With the header, you have two players, right? You have Makaula running to the ball, which distracts the goalkeeper, and then you have Usbisi not giving up but continuing with the run to score the goal. It's a striker's goal, to be honest, so good job to Usbisi for scoring that goal. And Chaine always does this for Pirates, guys. Chaine, it doesn't matter what game it is, Chaine will just always show up in the end of the game with something special, and he did it again in this match, saving Pirates from conceding that goal. What did you make of the Pirates win against Polokwane City? Let me know on the comment section, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Bye bye.